How's it going, everyone? Supremisis here, and in today's video I'm actually going to be talking about Recon Wildlands, what's next. Now, what I mean by what's next, as in, what do we now do after we finish the campaign and after we complete all of our side missions? I guess the majority of players already know what we're actually waiting on now, and to basically answer that question, it is PvP. Now, as a lot of us may know as of right now, is that the PvP aspect of Wildlands haven't had really anything talked about it yet. Now, everything that we've actually been told or that we know of it right now is pretty much just because of the trailer that they released when they first released Wildlands. And the trailer I'm talking about is actually the DLC Season Pass Holders trailer that we got when the game was actually first released. So back to what I was talking about before, as in, what are we going to do now once the campaign's complete, all of our side missions are done? Do we now just wait, or what do we do? This is a question that's actually very important to ask a lot of the players. Ubisoft basically answered this by putting out basically content for season pass holders and people who have money to buy these types of things to actually play while we wait. So that leaves players who didn't pre-order the game, doesn't have the season pass, and doesn't have money as of right now to actually buy these content packs while we wait for PvP to drop. So in saying that, that leaves a lot of players with a lot of time on their hands, and the only thing that these players can actually do right now is simply just brainstorm and speculate what PvP is going to be like and what's actually going to be happening with PvP. So with PvP, we already know that it's going to probably be a 4v4 class-based shooter, almost exactly like Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, and Phantom, otherwise Rainbow Six Siege, which is actually two really good comparisons, which is in this article just here. Now, the article says, since it's a Ghost Recon title, fans are speculating that Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP may follow the model of the previous Ghost Recon entries. Ghost Recon Future Soldier and Ghost Recon Phantoms had a class-based PvP system. Both games had 3 specialized classes to choose from and mostly played in objective-based game modes. It also reads, the Future Soldier classes, namely the Scout, Engineer, and Rifleman, each had their own set of weapons and tools to fulfill a role in battle. The Rifleman has access to light machine guns and armor, which make them the usual characters to take point and bravely search for enemies. Meanwhile, the Engineer has shotguns as their primary weapon and uses gadgets and grenades to provide support to their team. Lastly, the Scout can become invisible when staying still and use sniper rifles and submachine guns to dispatch their targets. Now, obviously talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands, I mean, we wouldn't become invisible because that's just unrealistic, and Wildlands kind of wants to stick to that side of realism. To basically summarize what's going on in that last paragraph is them discussing that the PvE skill tree that includes the rebel support, the item, physical drones, stuff like that, aren't actually going to be included into PvP, only because that is a PvE aspect of the game and not a PvP. Now, I guess you could say that's actually a very smart move on Ubisoft's side, because like the Division's Dark Zone was basically skill tree based and kinda cover based shooter, and that didn't actually turn out as well as Rainbow Six Siege. Now, when you think about that for a second, Rainbow Six Siege 4v4 tactical based class shooter is basically what you could assume that Wildlands PvP is going to be like. Now, I want to know what you guys actually think about that. Would you guys rather a skill-based, cover-based tactical shooter like the Division and like the Dark Zone? Or would you guys rather a class-based tactical shooter like Rainbow Six Siege? Now, in my opinion, I can only assume that it's actually going to be like a Rainbow Six Siege, where it is actually going to be tactical class-based shooter because of how successful it is and how unsuccessful the Division was. Now, don't get me wrong, I did like the Division. I'm not trying to bag out the Division in this video. I'm just saying that I was one of the players to actually be super keen for the Division, and it just turned out to be a disappointment. And because of how successful Rainbow Six Siege was with Ubisoft, I mean, what other choice would they actually have? So in saying that, that actually brings me to the end of the video. I'm now going to be moving on to the comments of this video. The first comment of the video actually comes from Jared, and he says, "Supremacists, still a great video, I just wish gaming companies would do a better job, which would lead to some wicked videos like this." Thank you so much, Jared. I really appreciate the support, and I really do appreciate the support from everyone lately supporting me on my Rainbow Six Siege and my Ghost Recon Wildlands videos. So thank you all so much, and with that being said, and that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.